What's up, everybody? I'm Alan Seslowsky. Thanks for tuning back into Roster Watch. Roster Watch is back on the road doing what we are best known for, collecting actionable intelligence from training camps all over the country. Our co-founder, Byron Lambert, recently posted his instant takes from Jaguars camp and from Tampa Bay Buccaneers camp. You should go on our YouTube page and check out those instant great takes from Byron. In the meantime, on this video here today, I'm going to highlight a few of the great takeaways that were discussed on the Roster Watch podcast number 277 when Byron reported back his findings from Tampa Bay Buccaneers camp. The first and foremost take was that Tom Brady is trending up. Brady looks ageless. Tom appears to be spry and have great pop in his arm, Byron reported back. He looks poised and control of the offense. Even with head coach Bruce Arians shouting explicitives during practice, Tom remained even-tempered as he always does with a business-as-usual approach. If Tom Brady is learning the offense, you would have never known it by Byron's observations. Byron's convinced enough where he gave Brady a slight bump in his redraft rankings. Next was Ronald Jones. Byron's report was glowing. He said Ronald Jones looked well-built, sturdy, confident running between the tackles. He was routinely getting yards after contact, and he was the clear lead guy in the Tampa Bay backfield. Byron also reported that Jones was receiving over 90% of the first-team snaps along with Tom Brady. Roster Watch is considering bumping up Jones' reception projection slightly based on Byron's boots-on-the-ground's intel from those practices. His recent ADP rise to the 5th round means you're likely drafting Jones as your RB2. Roster Watch projects Jones to be a 20-plus touch player who starts off hot but could descend into RB3 territory. If you went wide receiver heavy in your drafts, Jones makes a nice bailout for a starting running back that will yield you points, especially early on. The other key pieces of this offense include the wide receivers, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Let's start with Mike Evans. There's a powerful narrative out there in the fantasy football world that Mike Evans' skill set does not align with the strengths of Tom Brady's game. ADP reflects this sentiment as Chris Godwin is routinely getting drafted before Mike Evans. Mike Evans is in a Hall of Fame career trajectory, having yielded over 1,000 receiving yards in every one of his NFL seasons. Mike Evans was still going to be a dominant part of this offense, and his third-round ADP represents a nice value for Mike Evans. Now over to Chris Godwin. This is the second year that Roster Watch has got to see Chris Godwin live and in person, and he's truly an elite athletic player who has alpha dog mentality on the football field. A very natural wide receiver who Brady is going to lock onto, as many suspected. If you don't like the running back options at the end of the second round, Godwin is an excellent wide receiver pivot and represents a fair value. Quick reminder that the 2020 Roster Watch Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet is available now at RosterWatch.com. The revolutionary cheat sheet that changed fantasy football forever is back, only at RosterWatch.com. The Roster Watch Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet. All you need to do is follow 3 simple rules. That's it. 3 rules. Couldn't be any easier. And an expert quality fantasy football draft is guaranteed. The Roster Watch Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet is available now at RosterWatch.com. Lastly, let's talk about the tight ends. Rob Gronkowski, Cameron Brate, and O.J. Howard. I think most people are interested most in Rob Gronkowski as he's the most energetic and enthusiastic, and let's face it, he's a Hall of Fame tight end. Gronk looks healthy, and he's as energetic as ever. We still are reluctant to call him a full-time player, and it's plausible Tampa Bay could treat him similarly to how Antonio Gates was treated at the end of his career. Now, Gronk is still a lot younger. He's only 31 years old. Gates was in his mid to late 30s, but Gronk could be deployed as a third down option and certainly a red zone option. Roster Watch projects Gronkowski to have between 650 and 700 yards, and the over-under should be set around 8 touchdowns. Perfectly good option, but Gronk could be getting overdrafted right now at his ADP of tight end 9. Now on to O.J. Howard. O.J. Howard is always one of those players that looks dominant in practice. What stood out about O.J. Howard, Byron reported that he was getting the lion's share of the first-team reps with Tom Brady. That bodes well for the playing time and snap share of O.J. Howard. Cameron Brate will certainly be used in the offense, but in your typical 16-round draft, even 18-round draft, he's likely not draftable and could be a waiver wire ad over the course of the season. Okay, Roster Watch Nation, that's it for today. Remember to like and subscribe to get notifications when we go live, and leave us a comment in the video. We will comment back. Until next time, goodbye.